The Square Ball Podcast.
Time to pick ourselves a hero of the week, a villain of the week. As we assemble the TSB jury, that's us three. Levi Solicitors have offered us no advice on this. I want to make that very clear, but you can get a 10% discount on your legal fees. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Right then, I suppose because it's been a fairly bad week, we need to dig out a bunch of people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to put forward the dickhead refs between the Sunderland game, because we've not done one of these since then, have we? Have we? No. Either way, he's getting chucked back in, because we should have had... the whole week has been losing and drawing, hasn't it? If we beat Sunderland, which the handball would have allowed, then losing to Blackburn wouldn't have seemed as bad, would it?
No.
So, across the period, I'm seeing it as one piece.
Yeah.
Dickhead refs.
Yeah. Oh, Matt has said, actually, Matt's one of our members who sent us this, says, I don't know where they find these bastards.
Yeah, it was Tim Robinson who didn't give the penalty. I can't remember the guy who just was letting Blackburn hold the ball for like 20 minutes at a time, but him too. I'm so bored of watching goalkeepers hold onto balls.
What website are you watching that on?
Yeah, it is. It's boring, isn't it?
It is. I know you've shared an article, didn't you, this week about them changing the rules on it. But the thing is, there is a rule.
IFAB are looking at changing it so it's penalised by a corner if they piss about with it for too long.
But just book them. I don't understand why they're making this more complicated than it is. There's a rule there for it already, that you can book people for time wasting.
I was saying before, if you book him early when he's doing it, or you give him one warning and you say, right, you've taken too long with that. If you continue to do it, it will be classed as time wasting. You'll go in the book. Second offence.
And don't think I'm going to fall for that one where you pretend you can't see where the ball is either. Because that's another classic that people do now.
And also, and if you do it a third time, you're off.
There were two moments at the weekend as well before because he did eventually book that keeper, didn't he?
Yeah, in about the 85th minute or something.
There were two moments before then, because one was right in front of me where the left back was waiting forever to take a throw in, and the referee put his whistle to his mouth, and then I think he realised he'd already booked the left back, and he was like, oh shit, I can't send him off. And then he did it again with the keeper. I think he was waiting to take a goal kick, and he put his whistle to his mouth, and then he sort of bottled out of that, and that was what led up to their goal as well. So that was very, very annoying. Yeah,
it's like there's this kind of unwritten rule, I can't send him off.
Referees love to stamp authority on stuff when it's basically meaningless, don't they? It's like the little clash, it was the Sunderland game, wasn't it, where Bamford and their centre-back ended up in a little scuffle. I think he blocked Bamford off and Bamford had a little shove back at him. In other circumstances, they just go yellow card for both of them, because the centre-back had already been booked. He had to bottle it and go, I'm just going to have a word on this occasion, because I can't send him off because I wasn't really looking, but I know something's gone on, and normally I'd be comfortable just giving someone a yellow card for something I've not seen. But on this occasion, I won't send someone off for it. So, VAR next year, maybe.
Well, is it? Come on then, who else have we got to nominate?
I quite like Neil Masterman's shout for Leeds, Ipswich and Leicester. Every single one of the bottling bastards. For the love of dog, please make this end one way or another, which I can kind of empathise with that viewpoint.
There was somebody at Wacko, actually, on the, I can't remember, it must be the promotion thread, suggested they wished that either one of Leicester or Ipswich had just won this week just to put us out of our misery so we could have a couple of weeks, get ready for the playoffs, which is the nihilistic view, isn't it? I love it. It
is the fact of just being brought back into it all the time.
Yeah. So tiring, isn't it?
Stop leaving us hanging on.
I was just about to say I suddenly feel very tired by this season. It's like all of a sudden exhausted, but I don't know. It will be exciting, I'm sure, the way it ends.
The other way to look at this is if we do it from here, we'll look back on this wobble as being quite fun or making the outcome more fun.
Yeah.
And we hate it at the time.
And the ones you can talk about at the end of the season, in a decade, in 20 years ago. God, everyone, leaving that Blackburn game, everyone thought we'd completely fucked it, didn't they?
And we had.
Little did they know we'd lose 4-0 to Norwich in the playoff. And it would get loads worse. Oh.
I mean, Dan's had a bad week, not me, the other Dan, suggesting he wants to nominate all of them, useless characters.
Yeah, there were a few for that, to be honest. Smodic gets a couple just for being good, scoring. And that Brian in Jacksonville suggesting if Blackburn had any common sense, they'd have sold him. Terrible guests.
Right, what else?
Pears, their goalkeeper.
Fruit.
Their goalkeeper.
Right.
Who was spending his time doing that.
It's not his fault, though, is it? I don't blame him.
No, I don't either, actually. It's just
If you can get away with it.
Yeah.
I was a bit smug about it, though.
Could you tell?
Made a couple of decent saves as well, didn't he?
Have you got a leading candidate you want to put forward then out of these then, Rob? Anybody in particular?
I quite like everyone.
Yeah.
Leeds, Ipswich, Leicester. I don't really want to nominate Farker, as Billy B has. He says he's been excellent for us this season, but his shortcomings have been on show as clear as day this week. So I do have a bit of sympathy for him, given he kind of did everything that everyone wanted at the weekend, and we lost anyway. So I'm not really sure. And again, we have more points than you usually need to get promoted. I feel a bit harsh saying, come on, Farker, sort it out.
He just hasn't factored in that we're Leeds, has he? And there's that Leedsiness about us.
Well, he has, to be fair. He does, unlike Jesse Marsh, who would often say, we need to stop pretending we have to do it the hard way. A man who ended in the job just utterly consumed by stress. Farker has, throughout the season, gone, yeah, we'll have to do this the hard way because it's Leeds United. So at least he knows. He should be prepared, but it doesn't make it any easier.
I don't think a week ago, I don't think he meant that. I think he'd have been like, I'm going to say that, but we're going to piss this.
It does still feel like a bit of an excuse, though.
What, being Leedsy?
Being Leedsy, yeah, and just like, this is what we do. And I know this is basically the whole premise of this stupid show, but this is a stupid show and not the actual real football club. Just do it, dickheads. I've had enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Said it the other week, get it done. Just stop pissing about and get it done.
What happened since you said that?
They didn't.
2-1 lost one.
We've done a Leeds.
2 really winnable home games.
Totally Leeds it in
a week.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I think I can't remember if I said it on the show or not, but the moment when Schmodic scored, I actually did it. I went, ha! Which reflected I knew this would happen, I should have known this would happen. Yeah,
that was the feeling I was left with. Like, why have I not seen this coming?
Yeah.
Obviously, this is going to happen. You idiot for even thinking you could escape this.
Yeah, but we still might. We still might. It's the refs in it anyway.
It's good to externalise the blame, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. Whether it's fair or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's the dickhead refs from the last week, and Stroud as well, because he wasn't reffing. But he had a little influence.
He did.
So he's in there as well. Scores on the doors. Oh dear, not good for Blackburn. Only Wilfred Nonto came out with much credit there. 6.78, our man of the match out of 10, as scored by our TSB Plus members who sent the scores in.
Which is why he was taken off. He was playing too well.
But Nonto, Gruev, Rodon were your top 3 scorers with scores over 6. And Gruev got taken off and all, didn't he? Oh dear.
Yeah, down the bottom, it ain't great. Farker, 3.5.
The ref scored a surprisingly high 1.22 out of 10, though.
It was in the I think it was 0.2 something against Sunderland. So that's not bad. Actually, about par for the course is that. But
so
yeah,
it feels like there's a bit more internal blame going on there rather than external. Because if we'd taken our chances, then it would have been outside, wouldn't it? But
it was basically a bad day for everyone.
All the forwards came out worse, didn't they? They were all the lowest scorers, sort of hovering between 3.5 and 4.5 out of 10. Never mind. Player of the year, Joe Rodon's still on for it then, with Ampadu in second place. Scores haven't moved much, really, have they?
No.
7.28 is the season average for Rodon. Ampadu is 7.20. Right then, so we'll factor all that in as we try and pick a Gitano Berardi Hero of the Week then now, shall we? I
would have said a good week for Chris Clarkson, again, as all these low scores are dragging him up the leaderboard, but he's not had a good week, has he?
No. No.
Had a little crash.
If you see a roadblock or a checkpoint, stop.
Driving advice now.
Yeah, well. Nobody gets nominated by quite a lot of people. So does anybody want to nominate nobody?
I do like Rory, not Jennings, just saying fuck off. I think, yeah, fair enough.
Angry Paul says, no, I would not fucking well like to nominate a hero. Thin on the ground. I mean, Dallas did win it last week because he just retired. But I mean, his bit round the pitch, was that the nicest bit of the day? It was probably, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, although his pre-match talk to the lads in the players' meeting room didn't work, did it? So is it time to hound him out now?
Just left them all panicking about breaking the femurs.
Yeah, potentially.
Could all end any minute, so don't make any tackles. That's what he said.
To paraphrase it.
Paraphrase it, yeah.
Yeah, no, Dallas seems like a fair shout.
I mean, Plymouth and Borough have been nominated as well for actually helping us to keep us in this horrible thing. And Sarah nominates, in particular, Bill Ayling, because he did get his assist.
Yeah.
And we heard from the Ipswich fans saying he was good. as well in propaganda.
Nice. I was going to nominate Bill Ayling for his cross. I must admit, I watched the highlights back and there was a bit where he got completely done by the winger. I was like, oh yeah, that's why you play for Middlesbrough these days, isn't it? But no, good cross. And he is doing his bit for us. Yeah,
it's contributed to our season. I'm tempted by that. Because if we're externalising the blame, do we externalise the glory?
Yeah. I mean, I think there was one nomination for Archie Gray who someone said he did all right. I think that was about the only actual Leeds player nomination.
And we've had the EFL awards as well, which Archie won a couple, didn't he? So
yeah,
he got the Apprentice of the Year and Young Player of the Year, didn't he? So
we could give it to him. But then the Blackburn game, I think, give it to Bill.
Give it to Bill. It'd have been a lot worse if he didn't cross that ball onto whoever that player was.
It was Latte Lath, wasn't it? Was Scott, I think. Yeah. Yeah, fine. Bill?
Yeah.
Well then.
Let's hope there are some Leeds players to give this to next week.
I was just thinking that. I do wonder what next week's going to bring. Because we've got the Monday fixture. Bill won't be playing in that. And then we'll be getting ready to face QPR. It's the week after that that's possibly the most instructive one, isn't it? When you've factored in the Monday and the Friday game, sorry.
We'll be nominating Johnny Howson next week for putting us out of our misery.
I genuinely have believe. I think he will help us.
Yeah, I think he might.
Yeah.
Proper Jermaine Beckford it.
Yeah, just maybe not try all that hard under certain circumstances. Oh no, you've got past me again. Sorry.
We can dream. We can dream.
I think, well, if the Howson family is listening to this, get him told.
Let's just hope there aren't too many more of these to do.
Well, it should be finished, in theory, if we go up, when we go up against Southampton in 2 weeks. That's really close, isn't it? That's really close. Then the last one will be the week after that.
I know for the conditioning of players and stuff, sticking the playoffs into a week would be horrible. But I'd rather they got them out of the way quickly after the season. It's going on till right at the end of May, isn't it? You've got to worry about this for weeks more. Just play them like bang, bang, bang.
Like they used to do in like the 50s and stuff, just put them on consecutive days.
Double header. Yeah, you play like at home, you semi at home on the Monday, away on the Tuesday.
Final on the Wednesday.
Final on the Wednesday. Absolutely fine. Let's get it all out of the way. I'd be willing for them to do it as like a round-robin tournament, all at Wembley or something. Just get everyone down there. They did do a format like that, didn't they, once in the 90s? I feel like you may have been to it. I'm sure there was like Leeds and Palace and some other teams all played at Wembley in a weekend.
Right.
It was like a Magic Weekend type setup, I think. Okay. I'd be up for that for the playoffs as well. Just get it out of the way quickly.
Right.
And if it is us and Southampton in the playoffs, play it straight after the league game.
Yeah.
Immediately after. Just go back into the dressing room for 10 minutes, kick off again.
Well, I was going to say, the other option is we could do what they used to do at school. I remember we played a match at school where, because, bad pitches and winter and you only get a certain amount of daylight after school and all that kind of stuff. There's only a select amount of, time window that you can get games played after the school day is finished. And we played, I think it was Buttershaw we played against, and we beat them. So we agreed beforehand, whatever score this is.
It counts twice.
It counts twice for the return fixture. So maybe we could do this. And we beat them 5-0. So that's good.
We should have had a pools panel decide it.
Yeah. So we could do that with Southampton and say, whatever the outcome is here today can just be the playoff final outcome if that happens.
I think get it out of the way.
Yeah.
It's after now you just basically want football to be over as soon as you get near to anything. You're like, I was enjoying the middle bit, hate this part.
I am starting to come around to the idea, obviously, that we should already be in the playoff final if we finish third. Don't you think? So Norwich, as it stands at the minute, Norwich should go to West Brom for a playoff. Mm-hmm. Whoever wins that then travels to Southampton for a playoff, and whoever wins that faces us in the final at Wembley.
It would be fairer in some ways, but then you'd be stressing, going, "Oh, I don't know, we're out of practice." It's not fair. It's actually a disadvantage, is what you then talk yourself round to.
Love it.
It's a disadvantage to have been put in the final with loads of rest.
Right, we will wrap it up there then, and let's hope we're in a more positive frame of mind in the next week or two. And
God, it can't be any worse.
And let's see. If we win on Monday, it'll all be different again. Don't you worry yourself. In which case, we'll pick up with the weekly show middle of next week, the Daft Silly Week, Monday, Friday, and look out for the show with Phil Hay before we head into the weekend as well, where we will properly preview what's going to go on at Middlesbrough. And boy, what fun it's going to be. We'll see in a bit.
The Square Ball Podcast.